Here to discuss is national security analyst and chairwoman of actforamerica.org, Brigitte Gabriel, also joining us, former senior advisor to both the Trump and Bush administrations, Christian White. And we want to talk about all the attempts on the president's life. Brigitte, let's play a key moment of that fateful day that shows a complete lack of communication between the Secret Service and local police. Take a listen.
Sit down.
I don't know.
5036, good.
5036, 5030, start towards the farm shop.
I told them they need to post the guys over here. I told them that the Secret Service. I told them that Tuesday. I told them to post guys over here.
So that's a local cop stating, I told Secret Service to post those guys here on Tuesday. We are also learning, Brigitte, that just the day before, a Pakistani national with ties to Iran was arrested for trying to also kill President Trump. So why wasn't that made known prior to the rally? Maybe there would have been even stricter protocols. There's the guy right here. Do you think, I mean, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but something just doesn't seem right here. It seems something's connected. I don't know.
Something is not right, and the American public nationwide knows that something is not right. And this is so reminiscent. We haven't learned anything in 20 years since 9/11. 9/11 was brought to us by the lack of communication between our intelligence agencies, the FBI and the CIA, and they were not talking to each other. Nobody communicated. And when the 9/11 Commission report came out, they said we lacked imagination. Here we are now with the same type of things, the lack of communication between the Secret Service and the local police who are in charge of protecting the president. For them to know, especially the local police, to say something is up, and they notified the Secret Service on Tuesday, and then nothing was done. I hope out of this situation, we are going to get both the local police and the Secret Service in one room in front of Congress and drill both of them to get to the bottom of this. But if we learned one thing, we need to coordinate information regarding our elected officials, especially when we are dealing with terrorism rising worldwide.
And Christian, more on that Pakistani man. His name is Asif Raza Merchant. He had recently visited Iran. There he is. He was trying to hire a hitman to assassinate Trump as well as other prominent U.S. leaders. We're also learning that Trump's campaign was hacked by Iran. This according to Trump's team. What do you think's going on here?
Well, a couple of things. Of course, Harris' campaign has been trying to spin the tale that countries like China and Russia and Iran are rooting for Donald Trump, and it will be better to elect Harris. In fact, it looks like, in the prisoner exchange recently, that Russia gave a little gimme to that Biden-Harris team, and that certainly Iran has it out for President Trump. We need to know more about this. One of many reasons that Saddam Hussein is dead is because Saddam Hussein plotted to assassinate George H.W. Bush. Plotting to assassinate a U.S. president or former president cannot go unanswered. There has to be a very strict, severe retaliation if that's the case. So we have to know about that. And there's just, a lot of questions. What was this guy doing here? Why has anyone who recently visited Iran been allowed into the United States or into the borders or any of our allies? There's just a lot of flippancy here.
Real quick before we go, Taylor Swift, we know she's one of the most popular people on earth. She had to cancel her concerts in Austria due to plans to target Swift's fans outside the venue with knives and homemade explosives. Police have arrested suspects, all under the age of 20. They found items to make a bomb. We also know some other Taylor Swift fans were killed in the UK. They were knifed to death by a first-generation immigrant. I mean, what's going on? I mean, again, these, would-be, wannabe terrorists. So you got President Trump, you got Taylor Swift, all with these ties to terrorist organizations, except, of course, we don't know about the would-be assassin of President Trump because we don't know much information there. Brigitte and then Christian, real quick reactions to you from both of you. There's a lot of chaos going on, and it all leads back somehow, some way to the Islamic State.
radical Islamic terrorism, the common denominator between all these people you mentioned, whether the terrorist attack or attempted terrorist attack was going to take place in Austria or the terrorist attack that took place in England, the common denominator is these are Islamic radicals. And the West has a problem in facing and talking about the radical Islamic ideology that is driving these recruits. You know, we blame it on Al-Qaeda, we blame it on Al-ISIS, but let's discuss the ideology, because that's what it all boils down to. It doesn't matter the name, the alphabet soup of letters. It's the radical Islamic ideology.
Christian?
I couldn't agree more with Brigitte. The common thread that runs through ISIS and Al-Qaeda and also the Iranian regime, even though we're told these are very different forms of Islam, is political Islam, the unification of mosque and state, and jihad waged against secular countries like ours. So getting serious about political warfare and talking about this, and not just calling people who call attention to this racists or anti-immigration nut jobs, but people who actually, you know, are cared about the future of their country.
We have to leave it right there. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you.